Hi, my name's Amanda and I'm the EWEN team leader out in West Australia. And this is a bit of an introduction for those wanting to do coding with their class. It's based on the program code.org, which my students use themselves and have been getting really, really good at their coding. So I thought I'd share how to set it up in this very first video. So the very first thing to understand is, why do we need to code? So I'm going to screen share looking at the SCASA website, so the West Australian curriculum, as to why we need to teach coding. So hold on for 2 seconds. Here we go. So what you should be seeing here is a copy of the SCASA webpage. So looking at digital technologies in the area of technology. Just simply looking at the Year 3 level, there's 2 areas where it covers coding. So digital systems and the peripheral devices are used for different purposes, and also with the implementation. So you use visually represented sequence steps or algorithms, including steps with decisions made by the user, so including branching. So that's just simply the Year 3. Feel free to look at the Year 4s, 5s, 6s and onwards as to how coding is incorporated with them. And I'll just come back to me again. So that's why we do it according to the WA curriculum. As a growing technology age, we also do need to cover coding for many other reasons. So I'll show you a YouTube clip about coding. So if you can just hold on for 2 seconds. Oops, wrong one. Look at that one. So we're going to watch just a short clip as to why you should code. There is lots of reasons why we need to code, obviously, because the WA curriculum states it, but there are many other reasons. So sit back and watch.
I was 13 when I first got access to a computer. My parents bought me a Macintosh in 1984 when I was 8 years old. I was in 6th grade.
I learned to code in college, freshman year, first semester, intro to computer science.
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I think it was pretty humble beginnings. I think the first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
The first time I actually had something come up and say, hello world, and I made a computer do that. It was just astonishing. Learning how to program didn't start off as wanting to learn all of computer science or trying to master this discipline or anything like that. It just started off because I wanted to do this one simple thing. I wanted to make something that was fun for myself and my sisters. And I wrote this little program and basically just add a little bit to it. And then when I needed to learn something new, I looked it up either in a book or on the internet, and then added a little bit to it.
It's really not unlike kind of playing an instrument or something, or playing a sport. It starts out being very intimidating, but you kind of get the hang of it over time.
Coding is something that can be learned, and I know it can be intimidating. A lot of things are intimidating, but what isn't?
A lot of the coding that people do is actually fairly simple. It's more about the process of breaking down problems than sort of coming up with complicated algorithms as people traditionally think about it.
You don't have to be a genius to know how to code. You need to be determined.
Addition, subtraction, that's about it.
You should probably know your multiplication tables.
You don't have to be a genius to code. You have to be a genius to read.
Even if you want to become a race car driver or play baseball, or build a house, all of these things have been turned upside down by software.
What it is computers are everywhere. You want to work in agriculture? Do you want to work in entertainment? Do you want to work in manufacturing? It's just all over.
Here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, information, and none of us know
in this after school group called the Whiz Kids. And when people found out, they laughed at me and, all these things. And I'm like, man, I don't care. I think it's cool. And, I'm learning a lot. And some of my friends have jobs.
Our policy is literally to hire as many talented engineers as we can find. The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
To get the very best people, we try to make the office as awesome as possible.
You're a fantastic chef.
Free food,
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
free laundry,
Snacks, even places to play and video games and scooters. There's all these kind of interesting things around the office, and places where people can play or relax, or go to think or play music or be creative.
Whether you're trying to make a lot of money or whether you just want to change the world, computer programming is an incredibly empowering skill to learn.
I think if someone had told me that software is really about humanity, that it's really about helping people by using computer technology, it would have changed my outlook a lot earlier.
To be able to actually come up with an idea and then see it in your hands and then be able to press a button and have it be in millions of people's hands. I think we're the first generation in the world that's really ever had that kind of experience.
Just to think that you can start something in your college dorm room and you can have a set of people who haven't built a big company before come together and build something that 1 billion people use as part of their daily lives is just crazy to think about, right? It's humbling and it's amazing.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
It's amazing. I think it's the closest thing we have to a superpower.
Great coders are today's rock stars.
That's it.
Okay, so that was just a quick video. That clip is available on our YouTube page, which is EWEN 3 to 6. So we'll just get back to me again. And back to me. So there are some reasons why we need to code. We really are becoming in a more technological world there is. And so we need to be advancing our students as we go along. So one of the programs that they were talking about is code.org. So I'm going to introduce you to code.org and how to set your class up and just some of the very brief basics in it. So I'll go back to screen share, and the page is simply code.org. So I'm already logged in. So I'll just quickly sign myself out. And this is the page you'll see when you type in code.org. Very simple. So you sign in. You can also sign up on these pages as well. So I'll just put my name in for this. The sign up is very simple. Just follow the prompts. And you'll see a page that looks similar to this. Okay. So we go to the teacher homepage area and we're going to go to students, accounts and progress. Now my class is already set up and working on their programming. So we're going to look at creating a new class. So we'll go to the new section and we're going to call this class demo. The login type, the information down here about the login type, it's just down here. My students are using the Word at the moment, so we'll keep with that one. grade. We'll look at, say, Year 3, the course. There are quite a number of different courses. These first few are more along the lines of Arab code. I'll recommend starting with course 1. It goes very basic into something more complex. So course 1, students and section code. So I need to remind myself. Oh, that's right. Save it. Now we need to manage our students. This is where we're going to add our students in. So add student, and we'll call this one Joe Blogs. And he can be, let's say, 8 years old and a male. So the secret code that is the coding page, and we'll save. You can do multiples at a time, but we'll keep it at that. So if we go back to our teacher homepage, we'll go back into the students' accounts and progress, and now you can see that we've got demo, grade 3, course 1. We only have 1 student, and our section code is this one here. When we click back in Manage Students, this is where we can get our logins. So we click on the login information, and we can print the page. So students will type in this part here, and then they need to find their name and type in their secret word. So we'll have a go at doing that. Hopefully you are still seeing what I'm seeing. So create a new tab, and we'll type that in. And just while I'm waiting, I'm going to have a quick little check to make sure that we are still with me. Yep. So click on Joe Blogs. Now his words, bit of a cheat, click back, was clean lifted. So I'll type in clean lifted and sign in. It is very important to get your students to keep these words a secret, simply because it's all part of being safe on the internet. So Joe Blogs will then work his way through the activities. Down the bottom of your page, it will actually tell you what each of the colours mean. So if it's just a blank white circle, it means they haven't started the course, part of the course. Yellow means it's in progress, so they started it but haven't quite finished it. If it's a dull green tick, they've completed, but they've used too many blocks. So students will learn all about the blocks at the start. A nice bright tick, they completed it and they're perfect. And then these ones with the blue ring around them, they're the assessments. So it starts off very, very basic. So they click on the unplugged activity, and it will get them to watch a video. So we'll just watch a little part of this.
This lesson is called Happy Maps. Today we're going to help our furry little friend, the Flurb, get to her fruit. Make your Flurb.
It is very important that they do watch these video clips and not just click on finish, continue to next stage. What we're going to do is be naughty, click on to finish next and go to the next stage. So it's as simple as which arrow gets the flurb to the treasure. So they look at the flurb, which way, down, tick the box, submit. Very happy, we got it right. Okay, and then we've moved to the next stage. Now, there are a couple of little cheat ways that we can skip through it. So we can go to more, and that shows us which ones have been done, how many lines of code. So we haven't actually started coding, we're just introducing what it means to code. We get to coding down here in stage 4, where we start to sequence things. And that's when we'll start to see those numbers change and lines of code, hopefully a lot more green, beautiful, bright green circles coloured in. So students just simply work through it at their own pace. When you have most of your students finish it, that's when you'll then either edit your class or recreate your class to get them to do the next course. All of these courses are also available as part of the teaching area. So if we go teach, hopefully I can remember it. I think it is this one. So that's just a bit of an information page. It is American based, so at this stage there isn't any available in Australia. A bit of an introduction, how to use it, how you can do it yourself. There's also parts that could unplug lessons, so you don't actually need a computer. You can still teach your kids how to code without a computer. So the very first part is algorithms. So you might only have one computer, you might have your interactive board, and you might play the videos for them at the start. They have the teacher plan and the teacher video. And there's also talking about what an algorithm is, what programming actually means, all different parts of coding, as you can see. Now, that's probably why it's that, because I am currently Joe and I should be Amanda. So I'll just sign myself back in again. And that's probably why I can't find the parts that I was looking for. The teacher homepage. Here we go, lesson plans and resources. So we click in here. And here we are, so course 1. So you get your lesson plans, sequence, framework and standards. They tend to be linked more towards the American websites, etc. So back to me. That is a very brief introduction as to how to use coding in your classroom, so code.org. You should be able to use it with your iPads. I haven't actually tried using it myself yet with the iPads. We're very lucky at this school, we can use quite a few, have access to quite a few computers. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to comment and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. Otherwise, happy coding.